Okay, controversial opinion time, and it's about screen time and kids. So this Unplugged Canada thing is really doing my head in now. So this may turn into more than one video. My kids are 16 and 14, and they do not have any limits on the amount of time they can spend on screens, computers or phones. And they do not have any limits on what they can or can't do online. But I really am quite passionate about this. And I think that this idea of restricting children's use of having phones until, smartphones specifically, until they're 14 is actually really dangerous. So I went and watched their marketing video on this Unplugged website, and it starts with like an old lady talking about what they were doing when they were young. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you were running around in fields. This didn't exist. I'm only 42. I didn't grow up with a cell phone either. But this is the world we live in now, okay? And I am not denying that there are some dangers online. And I am not denying that we are all on our phones too fucking much. But number one, parents, can you all please stop being so fucking hypocritical? Okay, you are on your phone all the goddamn time. I am on my phone all the goddamn time. So when you are actually doing something about taking regular social media breaks, detoxing from your phone, setting your own limits on how much screen time you have, going out on regular nature walks, when you're doing all of that shit and more, then come to me and talk about kids on screens. Because I'm sick to death of this hypocritical, like, I'm the parent, do as I say, not as I do. Stop being so hypocritical. But number two, how do we teach them to be safe? I do not think the solution is to not give them a phone. What do you think these 14-year-olds are going to do when they get a smartphone for the first time and they've never been online on a phone unsupervised? What on earth do you think they're going to do? It's not going to be good, I don't think. My children had their own phones since they were 10 years old. And way before they were 10 years old and they got their own phones, we started talking about how to be safe online. We were talking about how to be safe online from, I would guess, around 5 years old. I don't know. It was a very slow and gradual conversation. They had iPods before they had phones, so they had some access to some games, and, you know, they didn't have text or phone calls, but they had some access to the internet when they were on Wi-Fi to go on certain like children games. So back then when they were very little, I did restrict, you know, somewhat what they had access to, you know, when they were like 5. But we started the conversation then. And so we talked about how you don't give out your full name to people you meet on the internet. You don't give out information about what school you go to people you meet on the internet. You don't tell them your address or your phone number. You use, you know, you can use your first name or you use a fake name, a made up name, but you don't give any identifying information about where you live or what school you go to. And I guess at that stage it was like, because you don't know who these people are or whatever, something more vague. And then as time went on, we got into more detail as it became age appropriate for them to understand why we don't share that personal information. But we prepared them because this is the reality of the world they live in.